Hello, my name is Zora Arki, and I'll be doing the first section of my group, which is the introduction and the overview of the history of civil engineering. Well, yeah, so I'll be talking about the history all the way from the 8000 BC, and then talking about the what were the achievements of civil engineering from the Egyptians to the Greek and to the Roman Empire, all the way to the US. And okay, so basically from the 8000 BC, the 3000 BC, and then 70 AD, and then all the way up to the 18th century, and and to the today's date. Oh yeah, I may skip some of the dates. You guys might think that some of the dates are the more important, but but I think these are the more important. Also, let's just start with the civil engineering is the oldest branch of engineering. The civil engineering has been the always a part of our lives. You know, like well yeah, well yeah, the civil engineering dates back to all the way from the eight to the 8000 BC, which were the cavemen were gathering using tools from experimenting through civil engineering, using tools to hunt better and gather better, to farm, to make farm equipment, to design farm fields, which farm fields were more better to harvest from, and then which yeah. So I'm going on. Oh yeah, the Egyptians were huge in civil engineering. Irrigation from the Nile was one of the great things. The Egyptians, um, on the 3000 BC, on the 2500 BC, they were building the marvelous things. Um, it's kind of surprising how they were able to build all that using the technology back in the days. It's how the civil engineering came around. They were using it to build tools to be able to lift such a heavy objects like those stones that they made um, these pyramids from. So yeah, going on, the Roman Colosseum, 70 AD, the Romans were huge in civil engineering, especially there. The road structures, they were huge. Well, the Roman Colosseum was built in the 770 AD. Is one of the civil engineering the wonders in the world, and it still is. Well, yeah. Well, the Great Wall of China from the 15th century to the 16th century AD was is another the one of the great wonders of civil engineering as of today. Well, and then I'd like to also point out in these times, uh, the iron, steel, or stronger materials were very scarce, so they weren't really be able to be used in these times. All was to be able to use was stones or what was within your environment. If there was water in your environment, you were able to use irrigation, like the Nile from the Egyptians, or stones like here, in China. So you're able to build the Great Wall of China. Yep, as I said, the road engineering in the Roman Empire was huge. was like huge feat. Like he just made um, the trading better. The people were able to reach their destinations faster, and these road structures were amazing. Yeah, so I'm jumping from all the way from the early 80s into the very first reinforced concrete bridge in the US, which was made in 1893. I'm sorry, the date is wrong. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about of the history of civil engineering, because and there would be a lot of stuff to cover. Like I just felt like I should cover the stuff that are the main things, and I'm just trying to convey the idea of how civil engineering has progressed from all the way to the 8000 BC to the late the 18th century. So yeah, so before this, as you guys know, concrete is weak in tensile forces but strong in compression. But if it's reinforced with, steel or iron, with today's world we use rebars, it'll be a lot stronger both in between compression and tensile forces. Hence, um, steel steel or iron is a lot stronger and it's a lot lighter than concrete. So yeah, like one of these feats was a great success, and it just drove civil engineering even further. Since in the late 18th century, like iron became like ready available. We were able to build the last standing the last built the iron structure called the Eiffel Tower. And yeah, like after that, the concrete buildings, the reinforced concrete buildings were built because they saw that those are a lot more the malleable. Concrete is a lot easier to work with, and it's more readily available and cheaper than just to use iron or steel. And like iron is more structured, and it doesn't allow that those stuff that the reinforced concrete would allow. So yeah, so like as the time went by, these materials were advancing with the civil engineering. So like the mechanical engineering, like electrical, or the material engineering, the geotechnical engineering were like all evolving and working together with civil engineering, and that's how civil engineering was able to build like all these wonders of the world, like Yakashi Kaikyo Bridge. Uh, oh yeah, like I'm just looking through my notes. Oh yeah, like I try to make my slides to be to have less words as possible and more pictured, because I think in a PowerPoint um the picture just means 1,000 words. Look at this, like engineering, it looks so beautiful. Yep, and then yep, and in Dubai there are like a lot of like engineering wonders of the world is, and it's like being built the one of the tallest buildings is a civil engineering wonder, like the structural engineering wonder. So yeah, these are my notes. Made a made a little bit here and there. Yep, like all, and then also like all my sources came from the Westminster University. I have it in the bibliography, like it's called the Westminster Public Schools.org. The disinformation what I just told you guys about is from there, and the last ones are pictures. Thank you so much.